On this episode, we share our favorite Walt Disney resorts to visit or stay at during the holiday season. Today is November 6th, 2023. And this is episode 615 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you did not get your advanced dining reservations you so desperately wanted for your trip when it is at 60 days out, do not worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. And this really does work. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
So, happy holidays, Jeremy.
It is the holiday season.
It is. So, that is what we are going to talk about today. We came out of Halloween, and now we are into the holidays. We are like Disney, and we decorate, and I only have 49 days left to enjoy for Christmas.
Yep.
Thanksgiving is, to me, that day where you get with family and stuff, but it is just a day. I'm always thankful for my family. I do love how people do the Thanksgiving of week of November. So they're now on 6 things.
Yeah.
The 6th thing that they're thankful for. I just kind of try to do that all year.
Yeah. Well, this year we'll be at Universal for Thanksgiving this year.
We will.
Which will be, I feel like, very different because
it will be.
Everything is Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be away from your home and at the theme parks on Christmas Day. It feels like Christmas. I don't know that it's going to feel like Thanksgiving.
I don't think so. And I think it's going to be weird again, like it was the time when we went with your parents.
Yeah, and went camping and all. Yep. So that'll be interesting. But the Sunday before, we're doing a Friendsgiving celebration with our best friends across the street.
Probably feel like my Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. That would truly feel like an actual Thanksgiving for us. But we are super excited to get down there with the girls and all and spend some time with them. And that's going to be super nice. But today.
Yes. And before we get into it, I do want to apologize for last episode when we were talking about our not so scary Halloween and our great weekend at Disney. We met this wonderful family from the UK, Nottingham, actually, which was super cool. A wonderful dad and mom and their 2 sons. And it was amazing because we just struck up this awesome conversation. They actually saw my tattoos and he was asking about them. And so we just talked the whole way, bus ride and everything. And the sweet youngest son gave me a little knitted pumpkin, Mickey pumpkin that his mom made. And I was like, I've always wanted to learn how to do that, and maybe I will one day, but that is just amazing. It was just super fun. So if you're listening, thank you. And it was so great talking to y'all. And And then we were in Epcot.
Shout out to Tracy, listener, who we saw in Epcot.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming up and saying hello.
Yeah, it was super cool.
We love that. So it's just always neat connecting with people. And that family from the UK were on a 3-week trip.
I know, that's so cool.
And they spent time over at Cabana Bay. They were spending time at All-Star, and they were spending time in a villa. They were doing Universal. They did Volcano Bay. They were doing Disney. So it was really neat to hear about their trips and experiencing a lot of that stuff for them for the first time. So I'm very glad you remembered, because I had it in my notes to mention them last week, and then we forgot completely.
Yeah, I guess we somehow skipped over that.
Yeah.
So apologies.
Yes. But we want to talk about what we think are the best Walt Disney World resorts to stay at during the holidays, during November and December and Christmas and Hanukkah season and all of that. And if you can't stay at them, though, you can't visit.
Yeah.
And these are the ones you probably, that's one question you get a lot is, what are the must-see resorts?
Yes.
During the holidays, if we're not staying at one of these resorts, maybe they're staying at an all-star value something, or they're staying off property. There's still a lot of these, and we can kind of give you an idea on how you can access some of these as well. So this is kind of our preference of what we love the most, but it is based on things that I think are the best to see, the best decorated, things like that. So we're going to do our top 5 in order, but we do want to throw out, all of the resorts do something for Christmas.
Yes.
Really the values don't do a lot. You're not going to have those grand lobbies where you can go see a big giant tree and all, but you still are.
You're going to have
you're still going to have your decor.
some neat stuff.
Somewhere that didn't make our list, but it easily could. Polynesian is wonderful to visit during Christmas, and same with Yacht and Beach Club.
Yeah.
And both of these, you're going to if you're going to go and you're going to visit the monorail loop,
right,
you're going to hit all of these. Or if you're going to visit the Epcot resort area, which I would, if you don't have time for both, pick one of those 2 resort areas and hit everything.
Doesn't Yacht and Beach have the carousel?
Yeah.
And then the
and then the Village and Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Like Yacht and Beach could easily make this list. Polly could make this list, but I think you're going to probably visit them if you go to those resort areas anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't make our top 5, but let's start with number 5. And this is one that could easily probably be replaced, but it is a fan favorite for us. And the reason it could easily be swapped out with a Poly or Yacht and Beach is because this is probably the most difficult to get to and access. What do we have coming in at number 5?
Coronado Springs.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the main reason it made it is because Grandestino Tower.
Yes.
And that is
it's
what...
just stunning.
Yeah, that is what has made it, I think.
Yeah, and we spent Christmas. We literally spent Christmas here last year.
Yes,
which certainly gets it on our list. But what makes it so unique? First of all, it is decorated throughout. Like I love the decor and the wreaths and everything. As you go over to El Centro and the old lobby area and head over towards Panchitos and all of that. But that double decker tree in that big open lobby. But what really sets it off here is the backlit LED panels that are all throughout Grandestino lobby that are lit in red and green.
Yeah. And
it really just gives it something. It's a very elegant, classy Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love walking in there with that red and green.
Mm-hmm.
This is one that if you're going to want to visit, you're really going to have to make your way over from a park. There's not a good way to get to it outside of Uber or Lyft or a minivan from your resort.
Right.
So,
but I would say then if you're going to do that, just have a dining reservation somewhere because they have so many good places, to eat there. So I would say just make it a dinner date.
Yeah.
And go enjoy.
Yep. And go up to Toledo or something and then have after dinner drinks in Dahlia or down in Barcelona where you can just enjoy this tree because the tree is beautiful.
It really
this is deluxe level.
It is.
Tree.
It is.
All right. What are we coming in at for our number 4 pick?
Animal Kingdom Lodge.
It's so unique.
It is. It's very natural Christmas looking.
Yeah. Like if you love it, and we love the decor that they put up at Animal Kingdom, the park. It is. It's everything looks like it's, handmade by the townspeople. In like an African village or something. And this is the way the decor is here. Again, a stunning, tall, beautiful tree.
Yes.
And it's but this is another one, it's a little bit harder to access.
Yes.
So I like your idea of saying, you know what, why don't you plan an evening of it? Why don't you just say, hey, we're going to notch out, maybe this is your Animal Kingdom Park Day. And you go ahead and you get a reservation for Boma or Jico or Sanaa or something that evening. And you go and you enjoy dinner and then you relax in the resort. The fireplaces are going to add to this. They've got that big fire pit that's right inside. And then you can always walk out and see the animals and stuff in the evening.
Correct.
So we don't get over here during the holiday season a lot. But again, because of that point, it makes it a little bit difficult to get to.
Yes. But, I mean, again, too, if these are places that you're looking to stay as well.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing, too. I mean, first and foremost, if you can stay at one of these places, stay at one of these places. Yeah. Waking up every morning and walking down to the buses or transportation or whatever and getting to see this daily and coming home from a park day after it and getting to see it during this season really is the way to go. But understandable, that is going to come down to a lot of budgets. Yep. And, most of 3 of these on our list are deluxe. And so they might not be as accessible financially for everyone, but you can always go visit them. Let's move on to number 3, which does well in its own right, in its own Disney decor, but that's not why you want to visit or stay here. What's number 3 on our list?
Fort Wilderness. Yeah. And I mean, it is hard to get a reservation because people book years in advance.
Yeah, and the hard part here, as you get to the actual Christmas season, like they do with Halloween, they're going to do a hard close, so you can't visit. You have to be staying on property, right, or you'd have to be going to Hoop-de-Doo. Now that Trails Inn has moved to a quick service and doesn't take reservations, you can't even just show up and say, hey, we're going to go eat at Trails Inn when they're at a hard close. Oh, that most likely is going to be like the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. But obviously, anytime leading up to there, you can go, and people go all out for their campsites.
Yes, it is amazing and incredible. I'm like, sometimes I think they actually bring extra like pull behind campers.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen people with trailers.
Yeah. That's yeah.
There's one site that's there year after year that has to have 40 to 50 inflatables on the property, and they always get like a corner spot. And it really is, there's nothing like this. This is one you're going to want to, if you can visit, because you're not on hard close, or if you're staying here, you really want to go towards the evening. Because
there's also quote unquote sleigh rides.
Yes, there's sleigh rides down so cool. at Pioneer Hall that you can do, and we have done that in the past, and it's amazing. And this is still one that you could plan an evening around. You know, if it's something you want to get that Hoop-de-Doo review, I know we're within 60 days out now, but go ahead and use Mouse Dining and see if you can get one of those, or just visit another time. But if you can stay here, and I know not everybody has a camper, you can always go to camperrentaladventures.com. You can rent a camper through them. You can still do a cabin. Or you can sleep in your car like we have. But if you're going to do here, and even if you're doing a one-day visit, you want to call ahead as soon as you can and try and reserve a golf cart, because you can go and reserve a golf cart for a day and visit and then drive around at night, or it's going to be real hard to get around and see everything. Yeah. But that's where the sleigh ride can really come in handy, because they're going to take you through a whole bunch of those loops. And there is a giant tree down there outside of Pioneer Hall. And there, especially if it ends up being a cool Florida evening, walking through Pioneer Hall and hearing the Christmas music and seeing the decor and the garland and the lamppost wrapped up and the big giant tree, like there really is nothing else like this on Disney property. Yeah. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's a winter wonderland without the winter, basically, right?
Yeah. And if you are at a park like Magic Kingdom, it is very simple to take the boat over.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you did want to do something like that.
Yeah. And that's your best bet there. You know, again, if you're at any other park, you can go ahead and you can still take a bus here, but you're going to have a lot of the internal bus system, because it's going to take you to the one up front. And then you're going to find yourself either walking around or, trying to bus throughout to kind of see everything. But this is really the only one that you really, I mean, you can go during the day. It's just not going to be the same as if you go after the sun sets. So if you can plan that, that's really the way to go.
Yeah.
Number 2 and number 1, I think, are interchangeable, very much so, depending on what you're looking for.
And we are talking about number 2. We're going to go ahead and say Grand Floridian, and then this is where I can say, like, back to the honorable mentions, like you can kind of rope this in because Grand Flo is on that monorail loop.
Yeah.
And
you might as well knock out the Poly while you're there.
Right,
contemporary,
very close, walking distance technically.
Yeah.
And you know, Yacht and Beach is really cool because it does have the carousel and then that little city. You do want to see these. That's all, like, though, like it's not like the Grand Floridian. Like what we're talking about is, I mean, first of all, it's got that huge 3-story, I believe,
tree,
yeah. Like the whole like grand lobby.
Yeah. I mean, the lobby there is just beautiful.
Right. And then like almost a livable, I feel like, gingerbread house, like where they actually sell the gingerbread that is made at the on the property out of that. Yeah. All the treats. It's super cool. And
I will say, if there's one holiday thing that you can see, it's the gingerbread house.
Yeah.
And I know that Grand Flo didn't make number 1 on our list, but that would be the number 1 thing I think you would want to check out.
But what's really cool too is if you can't get there, which then I don't understand why, because if you're at Yacht and Beach, they also sell the gingerbread stuff and treats too. But that's where you want to go because they do make this giant house and it's really
incredible.
cool.
We'll get to see it Friday.
Yay!
So super excited when we head over there.
Have to buy a treat.
Yep, we always do.
Yep.
And it's just, I cannot wait to see it this year. I've tried to not look at too many photos of them putting it together online just to kind of be surprised. Number one, I don't think would be a surprise. It's the ultimate setting for the holidays at Wilderness Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And that lobby, when you walk in that front door and you see the tree right there dead center in the lobby and it's 3 stories tall or something.
Yep.
And everything else
taller.
everything else has the garland and the ribbons and the wreaths and everything. And you've got the big
real fireplace.
Yeah, the fireplace going right there. This screams holidays. Like if there, it was my bucket list item to spend Christmas at Disney. We did it last year. The next level on that bucket list is to spend it at Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine waking up Christmas morning at Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Unbelievable.
Because it gives you that wintry feeling, even if it unfortunately does happen to be a high of a, 75,
it could be 85 outside,
80,
honestly,
whatever.
But you still get the feel.
Right. But it also could be like we were this past year.
Yeah.
And it was very, very low where we were freezing.
Yeah. It was cold this last Christmas.
Super cold.
I mean, like literally cold.
Literally,
not
like freezing.
Yeah, not like when we go, it's 60 outside.
Right.
It's cold.
No,
this was in the 40s, 30s and 40s.
Right.
I mean, it was great.
It was.
But imagine having sat in Wilderness Lodge in those rocking chairs with the big tree behind you and the fireplace in front of you. There's just nothing like it. This is one that you rope in, if you're going to pick either Monorail Loop or Epcot Loop resort area, I would go with the monorail just because of Grand Flow. And then you can easily boat over from Magic Kingdom to Wilderness Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a must.
Yes.
And it's another one, rope in Artist Point for dinner or go to Geyser Point or, just do Roaring Fork, Whispering Canyon. We loved our Christmas Day meal there last year. And I know it was specific to Christmas Day, but you're still getting that kind of, I feel like, Christmassy feel with their skillets just in general. So, these are our favorites. I know this was a really quick episode, but this is something that, it's not too late to book this trip. For this Christmas, if you haven't done so already.
Yeah,
of course, you can look at booking for next year. I know we need one still for December 7th, and there are some killer rates out right now. There, go to MainSTMagicTravel.com and Chuck or Amy will contact you. There are still really good rates right now. If there was ever a time to stay at a deluxe resort and experience the Christmas decor, it's now. I mean, I was looking at just some different dates coming up. I mean, for example, now when we go on December 7th, the values are sold out at this point for that night.
Okay.
But like Coronado, a standard room at Coronado is $220 or something. You can actually look at some deluxes during the week, especially that are $400 or less, the 300s to 400s. And that's a really good deal. So now is the time to look.
Yeah.
And same thing coming up in early 2024 as we start to look ahead to Festival of the Arts.
Yeah.
They're All-Stars, the lowest I've seen them pre-pandemic. I mean, like $139 a night and stuff, I think.
That's exciting.
So MainSTMagicTravel.com.
Yes.
Go ahead and fill out a form for a free quote, and those travel services, of course, are completely free to you. Speaking of travel and things coming up, our next episode, we are going to count down the top 10 reasons to visit Walt Disney World in 2024. So if you're on the fence, hopefully we can sway you to book that trip and come to Disney World in 2024 if you're not going to make it this holiday season.
Yes.
So, and super excited for this coming weekend to get back down to Disney and Jollywood Nights, the first night ever of this event. We are so excited to check it out. Cannot wait to bring all that to you. Yep, got our outfits. Rhonda's got a 1920s sparkly fancy dress. I've got red vest and bow tie and fedora to go with my suit. It's going to be fun to get dressed up when it's 85 degrees outside. So
I'll be cool.
Yes, you will be cool. I don't know if I will, but we will bring you all of that. And of course, a whole lot more. And if you want to check some of this out live, you can check out our Patreon group at wonderlandcrew.com. Again, hit that subscribe button. Get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And Rhonda and I would be super duper thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.